Guys, part of life being crazy around here is stuff like this. This is all fresh garlic, straight from the woods, completely shelled. The 3-year-old, little buddy pepper, bugger. And I went out to the woods and just got this. This is amazing, and we're gonna have a wonderful, wonderful project with this, but that is crazy. Look how much garlic. Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper. Today I've got to get off into the woods. I have a rare opportunity. There is a little sliver of time during which this activity makes sense, and if I don't do it now, I may miss out on that opportunity. I did a little bit of a check earlier, and the wild garlic here appears to be ready. So usually sometime from the end of June through July is when these things are going to get fully mature. They're going to have a nice head on top of them, which is full of all sorts of bulbils. We like to spread out for the next year. I've been doing this for probably 4 or 5 years now, and they're actually doing better, actually 4 years, but they're doing better up there than when I first showed up, just because of the effort we're putting in to making sure that they're, reseeded every year, that they're going to come back. So I made a really nice video with Monster Truck last year. This year I've got Buddy Pepper with me. Last year we were just getting a bunch to store. We braided them up and put them out there, hanging in our house, and have been using them for the past year. This year though, last I knew we still had a 5-gallon bucket of honey we got from somebody. I like to take these, fill a jar most of the way with them, cover them in honey, let them sit there and bubble for like 2-3 months, and the garlic properties are infused in the honey properties are infused in the garlic. These taste like candy. It's amazing, it's delicious, and especially as we're thinking about keeping our immune systems good and healthy, the rawer and purer and easier we can do these things, just raw garlic, raw honey, love it. So we're going to get off there into the woods, see what we can get, make sure to reseed a whole bunch, but I'm probably also going to grab some of these to scatter out here on our property and get them going here as well, so that we have more available right on our own property. Where I'm going is just off over there in the woods, and we'll see what we can find. Come along. So right behind me in the woods here is where these things actually grow. I'm not sure if they're naturalized here, if they're escapees from someone's ancient garden, or if they're actually something that's native to this area. But each one of the cloves will sit there and shoot up a nice long stem that'll eventually turn into this. Eventually they'll get their little guys. This is all from one bulb here. So from that one bulb, we now have 7 of these, and it also created all this. So check this out if I open it up. If I open that up, there is just a pile of these baby bulbils. So when I mentioned that they're doing better out here and there's a lot more than when we first started harvesting them 4 years ago, it's not hard to understand that really if you look at just even the math here. If you look here, I'm guessing there's about 50. So whenever we find somewhere that they're growing good and we harvest them, we'll take a handful of these and just cast them out into the woods and make sure that we have that next generation kind of being seeded too. Some of these I'm going to keep and scatter on our land, but I'll show you here with a wild one. See this bugger? Here is where one's growing. If I pull up, we get the whole thing, okay? On this end is where we have all those little bulbils for the next year. So if I crunch these up, here's 30 or 40 of them, and they're just here. And ensuring the next generation's there is just as easy as they grew good here, we'll chuck them there. Now down here is where we have the rest of it. And if I open it up, these aren't quite as big as your, garlics from the store or something like that. But if you look at it here, we've got 6 little bulbs. They're a little dirty, but if you rub them a little bit, that dirt and that outer shell comes off. There you go. So now we have our 6 nice rosy red bulbs. And if I rub them just a little bit more, what I found with these guys, a lot of times The outer shells will actually just peel off too. I can hear them going. But a lot of times harvesting garlic, or cleaning up the cloves, is a little more work than that. See, this one popped out already. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna collect a bunch of the bulbs, rub them off, get all the dirt and stuff off. When I get them home, rub them a little more, let them all peel down, give them a wash, put them in some jars, and go from there. Again, that video I made last year goes in depth into a lot of this. You can check it out if you want. But to me, it's not as much effort to really get them out of their shells either, to have them available. You can see half and half there. So while they may be smaller, the work investment in growing them is much less. The availability of them is incredible, and Bugger and I are just gonna head off here and get some done, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Here's an example of one of the larger ones, and if I waited till a little later in July here, they would disconnect. When I pulled on the stem, they'd disconnect, and these guys would be hard to get out of the soil, which means rather than just the bulbils falling back to the ground, you would have all these in there for next year too. I could tell just from the growing pattern of some of these that that's exactly what happened. They were ones that you couldn't get out last year, and then they just kind of grew into a whole pile of them really tight together. Can you pick up that one I dropped next to the other bag? You see it? But yeah, here, just a little bit of rubbing, and a lot of these pretty much popping out. And if you know anything about garlic, a lot of people will kind of praise the ones with the nice purple color on them too. That's what these got. But, as good as a lot of the ones I'd get at the store anyway, so pretty cool. And I can't wait to candy these and have them be available for the children to keep their immune systems up.
Heavy one. Now this is a bit too good for up though.
Well, we're back, and that was a crazy harvest. My little helper Bugger, he's inside getting some refreshments. But this was a crazy amount, and really impressed and blessed. I'm not sure how many quart jars of honey and garlic this will make, but only one way to find out. And if you're wondering about this table in front of me, these are actually all radish seeds. And you might be thinking, you've got that many seed pods for radishes? No, I haven't harvested them all. There's still some out there. And there is also more in the house of the Shawo fruit radish, but well, maybe I'll talk about that in a different video. Wow. So my plan right now is just to sort these out. I did bring home some of the bulbils to start the next generation. I'll throw some of those over here. These guys, I'm gonna drop in some water, give them a rinse. Wow, all that's still there too. And in the grand scheme of things, some of these, if you look at this, some of these aren't really that bad as far as the size of a garlic bulb. That's pretty impressive. There also is some sort of elephant garlic out there. This is one clove. I didn't have any that I found this time, but there was one in the garden that I wanted to check. Zoom in on that. So I grabbed one of them out of the garden, but this came from the woods out there. I just wanted to see how big. I think there was one of like 5 or 4 in there. But not bad for wild stuff. So I'm gonna sort through this quick. Then we'll get them cleaned up, and then we'll see how many jars we fill. So with these guys too, it's amazing, like I said before. Just take some of these, rub them between your hands for a minute. And some are kind of tough, but a lot of these, you know, I just got 10 cloves completely shelled. I've worked in the restaurant industry before, and some of the garlic, to get them out of the clove, I mean, it was or get the clove out of the shell, it was a chore. So to me, doing that for a lot of these really helps out. And like I said, there's definitely some that are more difficult than that, but that's awesome. And if you live in a similar area to me, I think I'm right at 6B, 7A right here. This is a wild resource I have available to me. I never dealt with these before moving down here. 2017, 18, 19, and 20 now has been my only experience with them. But I learned about them, figured out how to make them work for me, figured out the timing, and now we've incorporated them into our lifestyle. And I would recommend, you know, you may not have this available to you, but there's probably something. There's probably some things that are in your area that you can learn about and utilize if you'll just kind of put forth the effort and the time. Another thing is, I probably got maybe about a third to half, it was under half, but more than a third of the ones that I saw. I was pulling them all up, I was reseeding heavy. I still got a whole bunch of, you know, bulbil heads. There's probably, I don't know if there's 1,000 or 2,000, and that might be a low amount in there of the little babies, but reseeded more than half. So this is, you know, less than half is what I got of the little guys there. And then same thing with these bulbs. If I would have waited another week, I would have gotten a fraction of this, because a lot of them, when I pulled up on the stems, they came up empty and that whole bulb was left below the surface. So again, that just ensures a heavier harvest next year. And that's not really an issue, but timing is everything. So if you live in a similar zone to me and you have these in your area, don't wait another day. I've got stuff I should be doing. I should be putting up a fence over there on the back side of the garden. I should be working on a couple other things, but I had this opportunity. I thought, you know what, I better check. And when I saw they were ready, I figured no time like the present. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'll get back with you guys when I've just got a strainer full of shelled ones here. So at this point, I pretty much got it off the stems. I got the roots off. I have just a massive pile I've been rubbing together. A lot of them are at this point just going to be ready to be dropped in here. And there's quite a few that'll need some more work. And as far as work, I mean, man, there's plenty of people who, if this was an option for them to do as a job, they would not do it. It is effort. It is a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, this is a trustworthy source. Really, like, nobody heads in those woods but me. I know what those, you know, what these have been exposed to. I don't know. A lot of our life too is not so much just ways to make money, it's ways to avoid needing money. So if I can get some really good stuff that not only is beneficial to our bodies, but our immune systems, boy, that could save a lot of money in the long run. So I'm just going to finish this up. I'll show you guys when I'm done, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
I got something for you.
Oh, darling.
Something special to enjoy.
I got something special for you. I'm just not done making it yet.
Okay. Hope you're ready
Look at
for
this.
Why is it ready for
You
it?
see this?
Whoa!
I mean, look at this.
Whoa! Alright!
That's all from the woods, my lady.
That's awesome.
And I got all these bulbils, and I let most of them go there. I'm going to do some up in there.
On the table.
Those are all radish seeds.
Wow! Oh my.
Oh, darling.
Alright, well this is for you. Got you some chicken quesadillas and some watermelon.
So I will fill some jars with these and pour some honey on, and we'll let them do the process. And we'll be ready for this winter.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan.
It's a lot of work, but I love you. You're worth it.
Sorry, Alan. Enjoy your lunch.
All right.
Alright.
See, even when people aren't actively involved in some of the process, they're still helping keep the show go. Thank you, darling. Whew. Okay, I'm going to pause for lunch. Chicken quesadillas with avocado. Mmm. Watermelon. Alright guys, I made an executive decision. Part of that decision was all the little ones I decided are going to get planted. So I've got a nice big old handful that's going to get planted out in part of our area where we're growing. But this is the end result. This is the end result. That is a ton of garlic. It's all peeled all in one day. And I think that the stuff that was getting older was the stuff that was harder to peel. Obviously I couldn't just rub it all off, but a good portion of it could. But this is so much garlic, absolutely amazing. Fresh from the woods. I'm gonna get this in some jars and then I'll get the honey and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So Sweet Pepper and Monster Truck are planting those extra ones along the border and I'm heading inside for a minute. So yeah, just have one ready. Each time he sticks down that side, drop one in the hole. Be ready when he pulls it out and we'll be good to go. So honestly guys, this one was pretty crazy. I told Mama Pepper to get 4 or 5 quart jars ready. We filled 4 as high as I wanted to go. And then I kept this. This is just a little jar, but it's going to be full and we're going to put that in the fridge. So anytime we want to, we can just reach in the fridge and have some garlic ready already. So that's pretty cool. Nice little container. It'll be ready. We already shucked it all. If we would have done everything, including those little ones, we would have almost had a 5th jar. So it was obviously a lot of work, but when you take these, I only filled them about this high with the garlic, and then I poured the honey over it. You can see right now, the honey is about 1 inch from the bottom. And if you do something like this, do not seal these tight. For a while, they'll bubble, and like the air that's inside of the garlic will start coming out and being replaced by honey, and it'll bubble for a while. And I don't know if there's like some sort of fermentation or something like that that happens in this process too, but I think we had one blow up before, so you got to be careful about that. This one's like 1.5 inches almost, but over time, you watch, they'll just start kind of sinking down and go farther, and then the honey will get really like liquidy, right? Yeah. Like now it's like slow as molasses type thing, but it'll get very, very runny. But again, if you're having a cold or you want to boost your immune system, you just kind of pour a little bit of that, add it to your drink, just dump it down the hatch, whatever it may be. And the kids actually just love gobbling up these too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who likes them the most out of you children, you think?
Maybe monster truck and sweet pepper.
Yeah, but I mean, they'll just, Dad, can I have another garlic? Dad, can I have another garlic? Dad, can I have another garlic? And all it is raw garlic, but it hung out with the honey for 2 or 3 months first, which really just helps kind of, I guess, infuse it. I'm not sure, but this is awesome. This should get us through the winter very easy. This is the best supply we've ever had. Do we still have any of the old stuff left, or is it all gone?
We might have maybe a little bit.
Right. I think it might be gone. If we have any, it's a very small amount. So if I can do this once a year and just get an amazing supply for our family, I'm definitely going to do it. This honey too, I don't know how much is in here. It was about 2 ladles per. But again, we buy honey in a 5-gallon bucket directly from a beekeeper through a friend. But we go to the source and we get it in bulk. It just makes so much more sense, and honey doesn't really go bad ever either. So we get the root cellar up and running. I may throw an extra 10 gallons of honey in there, just to have it available. I like using it for a lot of things. We like using it for stuff like this, and there's a lot of good properties that honey brings to the table too. So now we got our milk cow, we got our beehives. Eventually we may be a land flowing with milk and honey too. But that was that, guys. A good, nice day of work. Couple hours this afternoon for sure. Took a lot of effort, but it worked for us, and I got a couple other things I want to tackle before night. You want to say thanks for watching all that? No. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. If you think somebody else could be blessed by this stuff, feel free to share it with your friends. Some people do that. They'll share these videos on Facebook and other places. We've even picked up new subscribers that way. It makes a big difference to us for a lot of reasons. Means a lot to us. We're almost at 7,500 subscribers right now, which is crazy. I know a lot of times it's like, 200 to 400 people watching a video, but we appreciate it a lot, and glad that some of you guys out there are finding this stuff worthwhile. I'm going to get this to the fridge, put these up in the cupboard, make sure they're not sealed too tight, and I can't wait. What a day. Papa out.
Do you want to see the baby duck?
Do I want to see the baby duck? I think so. So that's the shared nest that they had?
Yeah, we've had multiple.
Oh wow, and that's the cracked open egg right there?
Yeah.
Looks kind of bloody and kind of...
That's just the inside, yeah.
Whoa.
Hey, Maya, it's okay, Mama.
Oh wow.
And it's doing great. It's just tired.
Oh wow.
And I mean, even its feet are black. Like, look at how black those are.
Wow, okay. Get it back in there. Well, hopefully some more will come.
Yep.
All right, mamas. Thanks for helping. And we got some from a friend that we actually just put under one of our other ducks as an incubator.
Yep.
All right. Cool.